something greater. Good Day Chicago at 8 starts now.
And we are following breaking news to kick off our 8 o'clock hour here. That crash that we brought you a little earlier, 76 in Union, has turned into a lot more of a situation for Chicago police to contend with.
So our Saquon headed over there right away and is on scene. Say, can you tell us what happened to these police officers? Is it still as shocking as a scene as we saw earlier?
Definitely. I think there's definitely an active investigation playing out as we speak. You know, we've been here for maybe a little less than an hour at this point, and things have stayed pretty steady. We have very limited information at this time, so I'm going to do my best to show you what we're looking at here at 76th and Union. You can see 76th is blocked off right now because there's a massive police presence. You can see there's investigators on site. People are walking around. I'm trying to figure out what's going on, but, you know, just from being here, we can see that an SUV rolled over. It's actually on its side as we speak right now. You can see some of these officers walking around. But, you know, there's windows that are smashed out, obviously. It looks like there may have been 3 cars involved in this. One of the SUVs there, the black one, has the back window smashed out. And, of course, there's some damage to that sedan there, the Ford sedan as well. This whole stretch of 76th is pretty much blocked off by crime tape right now. We also know that there is a gun at the scene here. We actually saw that with our cameras this morning. It's on the ground. So, you know, there's a lot that needs to be looked at as part of this investigation. There is an ambulance on scene, too, but, you know, it's kind of just stayed steady, kind of parked there along Union. But for the most part, they're just kind of blocking this area off. Now, one thing to note also is that there is a surveillance camera right above where that car rolled over. You can see it's on the sidewalk, but, you know, there's surveillance up above. And also keep in mind, you know, where this crash happened, it's surrounded by apartment buildings with lots of surveillance cameras on those buildings as well. So I do think that that's going to be a big focus of their investigation as they look into this. Once again, guys, very limited information at this time. We have reached out to Chicago police. They say that they have made the calls. They see that there's a call for service. They're just waiting to hear back from responding officers at this time. Back to you.
Okay, thank you for the update there. Appreciate it. War Secretary Pete Hegseth just gave a fairly lengthy news conference out of the Pentagon, claimed that the U.S. did not start the war with Iran, but that the U.S. will finish it.
With every passing day, our capabilities get stronger and Iran's get weaker. We set the terms of this war from start to finish. Our ambitions are not utopian. They are realistic, scoped to our interests and the defense of our people and our allies.
Hegseth said in that news conference that this will not be an endless war. He says the mission here is to destroy Iran's nuclear capability and its navy. And the FBI is looking into a deadly mass shooting that happened in downtown Austin, Texas, as a potential act of terrorism. The gunman was seen wearing an Iranian flag and a hoodie marked property of Allah. The man started shooting with a pistol and a rifle outside Buford's Beer Garden on 6th Street early Sunday morning. He killed 2 people and wounded 14 others. Police arrived on scene, killed that shooter.
9 people were also wounded in a mass shooting in Cincinnati. It happened early Sunday morning at a music venue. And police say they are searching for suspects but did not give any other details. All 9 of the victims have been stabilized at the hospital.
All right, the president is saying that the war in Iran, meantime, could last another 4 or 5 weeks.
Rebecca Castor joins us live with more. Rebecca, you know, we just heard from War Secretary Pete Hegseth, and he said 4 Americans have died. There is a lot to unpack here. That just, you know, we just heard in the last half hour. I guess we want to get your remarks. What was your reaction? Do you think they said more than you were expecting? Is it less than you were hoping the American public could be briefed on?
I thought they gave as many details that they felt comfortable giving. They wouldn't go into specifics since this is an ongoing operation. It was different from the press conference they gave after Operation Midnight Hammer, which was against Iran over the summer, because that was more so a one-and-done type operation. So I expect that that is why they didn't go into as many specific details. But just a reminder for viewers, this is our first time we're hearing from the senior U.S. defense officials officials since the first strikes on Saturday. And Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, he made it clear that the mission here is laser focused. They are focused on destroying Iran's nuclear capabilities and its ballistic missiles. And he emphasized that this is not going to be a forever war. So I thought that was an interesting note that Secretary Hegseth made sure to include in his remarks.
What update, Rebecca, can you provide this morning with regard to American casualties? I understand there was a friendly fire incident, right?
Yes, to be clear, fortunately in that incident, all 6 airmen were able to eject safely from the fighter jets that were shot down. It was a friendly fire incident. The Kuwaitis shot down those jets by mistake, but again, all 6 crew members ejected safely. So that incident is not part of the casualties. We did get an update this morning that the number of casualties is now at 4, and these are all service members that were killed in the initial round of strikes. We had the number was 3 yesterday. It's now gone up to 4 because a 4th soldier has died from their injuries.
You know, Rebecca, we just heard from President Trump, talking on Truth Social, giving that update, the second one. And we also heard from Pete Hegseth that current and planned combat is happening right now with the brave U.S. forces leading the attacks over, overseas. What can you tell us about what Trump said, what it looks like for a future of service members here in the U.S.?
Yes. So both President Trump and the Secretary of War have put it bluntly that more casualties will likely come from this. They are expecting, unfortunately, more U.S. service members could be killed in action because this operation is still ongoing. And President Trump does have a public event later this morning. It's a Medal of Honor ceremony. So we could get new remarks from the president then. But in that second video that he posted online yesterday, it was really a direct appeal to the American people that even though we are starting to get reports of U.S. service members being killed, he wants the American people to support this war. And he really reminded the American public that these men and women in our armed services, they know the risk that they are taking when they sign up.
Rebecca Castor live at the U.S. Capitol. Thank you so much for getting right to us after that briefing. We appreciate your time. Oil prices also soaring this morning because of the war in Iran.
Yeah, a lot of implications here. Brian is here in studio with more on what is happening with prices here. Brian?
Well, at least one oil tanker trying to enter the Gulf of Oman was bombed this morning, and Iran has been blocking access to the Strait of Hormuz. It is one of the key routes for oil tankers from the Middle East to the open sea. It carries 20% of the world's oil. Oil has been up to $71 a barrel this morning. It could have impacts far beyond gas prices.
The United States is not that dependent on Persian Gulf oil, but China, Japan, and some European countries are. So I think perhaps that there is interest in the longer term about having some influence. I don't see mass shortages. I think we will see, though, dramatically increased prices.
One of the world's top producers of liquid natural gas also says it has stopped production at the United Arab Emirates. Anthony?
Brian, thank you very much. People in Indiana might be able to get some answers about their high heating bills sometime this afternoon. NIPSCO is holding a customer care center in Merrillville from 4 until 7 p.m. It says there's going to be NIPSCO workers there giving out info on financial assistance and tips on how to lower their bills. People in Northwest Indiana say that their electric bills have, in some cases, tripled within the last year.
The Cook County Circuit Court says if you get a warning about an unpaid parking ticket, it's a scam. People across the country have been getting notices looking like this. This one's from Georgia. It features a warning from a Judge John Smith and has a QR code to scan to pay toll violations. However, the Circuit Court of Cook County says it would never contact you like that and would not use a QR code for payment. It says if you get one of these notices, please let police know.
All right, today Aspira, Illinois will call on Chicago Public Schools to save the charter school system. CPS wants to close 2 high schools, Aspira charter high schools, before the end of this academic year. And that move is expected to affect around 500 high schoolers. Doesn't mean Aspira's charter is going away, but CPS says it doesn't have the money to make it through the end of this school year. We'll keep you posted on what happens there. Okay, time to check back in with Caitlin Cody for how the work week is starting. So starting off on a nice sunny note, it looks like.
Today's sunny, but enjoy it because after today, we've got the chance for rain every day into the weekend too.
Perfect.
Nice.
But the temperatures are going up, so we have that positive spin on the week. Weather headlines, let's talk about it. First of all, warming temperatures. And I have to put that as our #1 headline because we're going to be in the 50s and 60s this week. Not today or tomorrow. Low 40s expected today and tomorrow. And I mentioned how we're going to have that chance for rain. Even by tonight, we're going to have mostly cloudy skies and that potential for scattered rain into tomorrow. But the 60s by the end of the week and this weekend, very mild temperatures coming. Right now, it's not mild. It's pretty chilly, 28 degrees at Lakefront and in Gary, 29 at O'Hare, 30 in Joliet. Temperatures are going to be climbing fast to the low 40s this afternoon, 3 p.m., 43 degrees. Some of you are going to be flirting with 50 southwest. But looking at our 3-day forecast, temperatures tomorrow very similar to today, but it's not going to look similar. We have mostly cloudy skies sticking with us, and that chance for rain, especially south of the city in the afternoon. Then on Wednesday, temperatures up to 48 degrees, scattered showers around, again, leaning further south. But our 7-day forecast shows we're not done after Wednesday. Thursday, a high of 53 with a chance for rain. Friday, rain and thunderstorms, 64 degrees. So sporadic thunderstorms expected starting Tuesday night through Friday. And then this weekend, temperatures in the low 60s with a chance for rain, especially on Saturday. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Caitlin. All right, it's a week you kind of dread, the one where you lose an hour of sleep. But we have a doctor who will help you get ready for this time change.
Yeah, it's never been harder to buy a home, but are things getting better? We'll explore that question as well. More weather coverage is on the way, but first, here's a quick look at your 7-day forecast. We will be right back.
What are you girls doing?
We're doing all the heating, plumbing, and electric around here.
All right, I know you girls know stuff, but let's leave it to our trusted local experts. Let's call Four Seasons.
It's about time you figured it out.
Whether it's heating, cooling, plumbing, electric, air duct cleaning, or generators, you can always trust Four Seasons.
For all the right reasons, call 866-4 Seasons.
the oversight Illinois needs.
Time now, 8:15. Here's a look at some of the top stories we are following today. The president says the war in Iran could last another 4 or 5 weeks. 4 American service members have been killed since the start of the conflict on Saturday. The U.S. and Israel have killed Iran's supreme leader and most of its upper leadership. That happened in Saturday's attack.
Israel has started attacking targets in Lebanon as well. Israel says it was responding to attacks by Hezbollah in Lebanon. At least 31 people have been killed there.
The U.S. says that Kuwait mistakenly shot down 3 American F-15s during an attack by Iran. The Air Force says the fighters were mistakenly hit by Kuwait's air defense, but fortunately all 6 crew members on board those jets, they have all survived. They were able to eject. The price of oil, meantime, has been going up this morning because of the war with Iran. So we're checking in with Fox financial expert Phil Flynn to talk about this. Phil, even though we don't buy oil direct from Iran, this is impacting gas prices in the United States, or it's at least expected to, correct?
It is. It is already. I mean, if you go to the gas tank today, you're paying more than you did yesterday, and you're paying more than you did the last week. And my bet is if you fill up later in the week, you're going to end up paying more as well. And based off what we're seeing, actually, considering the fact that we have effectively shut down one of the world's most important choke points for oil, I think the increase in gasoline prices really are relatively modest. You know, we're going to see maybe another 12-cent increase after the increase we've seen over the last week, which has been about a dime. But then it looks like it may level out. So even though prices are going up, we're seeing signs of hope in the market that they're trying to wait this out a little bit, and they're not panicking with the hope that there's going to be an end game to this hopefully shortly.
Right. Meantime, we also heard that Qatar Energy, which produces liquid natural gas, say it was going to stop production. How might that impact energy prices?
It's going to be huge. I mean, if you look at this plant, it produces 20% of the global supply on a daily basis of all liquefied natural gas. That's natural gas that is liquefied, put on ships, and that's going to really impact Europe. And this is in a larger issue for them, but we're also seeing it impact prices here just a little bit. And the other thing we have to worry about is diesel prices. Diesel's another part of this situation that's getting underreported a bit, because when you shut down that strait, Europe needs that for that heavy oil. If that's shut down, you see jet fuel shortages, you see diesel prices soar, and we're seeing them lead all of the products right now. So
if it does last 4 or 5 weeks, if global oil, if there's that choke point in that Strait of Hormuz, is choked out there, could there be gas shortages? Would oil traffic be completely shut down there? What would happen in that scenario?
Well, the nice thing here in the United States, we're oil independent, so the likelihood of shortages in this country are very small. But if you play out a doomsday scenario where Europe can't get its hands on supplies, we could see shortages. We're not there yet, though. I don't want people to start talking that that's the base case. But if this war were to continue and they were able to shut down the Strait of Hormuz for weeks or months, that would be a huge deal, and we would see those scenarios happen. But at this point, we don't think that's going to happen, and I don't think the market does either. Even though we're pricing in a pretty good increase on the opening 7 to 10% for oil prices, they're really betting that this may level out. So let's hope the market's right and we get some cooler prices in the future.
Yes, absolutely. We'll keep our hopes. We'll keep our fingers crossed on that. Phil Flynn, thank you very much. We appreciate your time this morning. All right, it's 8:20, and a little bit later this morning on Chicago Now, we are going to take a look at the most sinful states. Where does Illinois rank on that list, and what makes it a sinful state? A new list we're going to go over. Also, trying to find a new job? We will have some tips on how to navigate today's job market. And you want to work at Lollapalooza, maybe taking some free tunes? We will tell you about a Lolla job fair that is going on. That's all coming up later on Chicago Now. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I am Neil Cote and I approve this message.
Welcome back. It is 8:23 on your Sunday, sunny Monday morning. That's what I tried to say. Thanks for joining us. Caitlin will have a check of our weather very soon. All right, for years now, the American dream of home ownership has felt somewhat unattainable because of skyrocketing interest rates and home prices. But recently, new data is showing we've seen some signs of a positive shift. So joining us to weigh in is Daryl Fairweather, Chief Economist at Redfin. Hi, Daryl. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, as I said, it kind of feels like it's been years of worsening affordability. What is finally changing things for some buyers?
Well, affordability is actually improving and the market is shifting more in buyers' favor. Mortgage rates went up a lot after the pandemic, but they're finally starting to come back down. And sellers are starting to lower their prices and are being more willing to negotiate with buyers. So that gives buyers just the ability to take their time, to not have to worry so much about getting outbid for a home. And things are still expensive, but they're getting a little bit more affordable.
All right, Daryl, how about here for Chicago? Because we saw affordability worsen, kind of. What's driving this locally, and what should buyers expect for maybe this spring?
Mortgage rates have come down, which means that buyers can spend more money and still keep their mortgage payments pretty stable. And also, there's still strong demand in Chicago. Chicago is one of the more affordable major metros compared to, say, Los Angeles or New York. So that's keeping demand strong. But also, there are a lot of sellers who have been postponing selling for a long time and are finally willing to get back out there and negotiate with buyers and offer slightly better prices.
Okay, so you kind of touched on this for a second. But for those who feel priced out right now, what strategies can they follow that can help them prepare maybe for today's market?
Well, it's a good idea to talk to a lender and find out what all of your options are when it comes to a mortgage. If it's the down payment that's holding you back, then ask about low down payment options and subsidized mortgages. If it's the monthly mortgage payment that's holding you back, then figure out exactly what you can afford each month. Look at homes on Redfin or other sites to see what's in your budget. That way you can come very prepared when you get to the housing market, and you can just look at the homes that you know are in your budget and not have to worry about that so much.
What about for young people or first-time home buyers? Is there any specific advice that you maybe have for them?
It's been really tough for younger home buyers for the last couple of years. They've been outbid by cash buyers, and it's been hard to compete. But that's starting to change because there is more inventory now. It's still tough for Gen Zers who haven't had time to build up down payments, because that means they get hit hard with interest when they end up borrowing more. But if you're looking for a starter home, especially in Chicago, I would look at condos, because that's where there are some great deals happening.
Okay, good to know. If mortgage rates drop further, could that push prices back up?
Yeah, there's this window where when mortgage rates drop for a short period of time, it's this great deal for buyers, but then buyers react, they come to the market, they start competing with one another, and that tends to push prices up. I think that this time around, it'll be a little bit different because lower mortgage rates will also bring more sellers to market. Many homeowners have been postponing moving because they got these great mortgages during the pandemic and they don't want to give them up. But when mortgage rates come down, that gives those homeowners extra reason to sell. So I think that this balanced market will sustain even as mortgage rates drop.
All right. Thank you very much, Daryl Fairweather, Chief Economist at Redfin. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
8:27, Caitlin Cody is standing by. Caitlin, we just saw that live shot, and it looks really nice out there.
It's glowing. It's going to be a beautiful day today. We've got plenty of sunshine. Temperatures already turning over from the 20s to the 30s. We are on our way to the low and mid 40s out there this afternoon. But the chance for rain is back as soon as tonight, and scattered showers are expected through the week. I'll explain ahead.
the content of this ad.
Welcome back. The president says the war in Iran could last another 4 or 5 weeks. 4 American service members have been killed since the start of the conflict on Saturday. The U.S. and Israel killed Iran's supreme leader and most of its upper leadership in Saturday's attack.
Israel has started attacking targets in Lebanon. Israel says it was responding to attacks by Hezbollah in Lebanon. At least 31 people have been killed there.
And the U.S. says Kuwait mistakenly shot down 3 American F-15s during an attack by Iran. The Air Force says those fighters were mistakenly hit by Kuwait's air defense. All 6 crew members on those planes were able to eject, and they all survived. To take a look at the stock market here, Dow Jones trading just under 48,500. And this is a little look at how investors are reacting to the situation escalating in the Gulf region. We'll check more in on that angle as the morning continues. Back in Washington, meantime, there's been a lot of arguing in Congress over the president's authority to send Americans to fight in Iran.
Brian is here with more information. Good morning, Brian.
Congressional Democrats, they were planning to force a vote on war powers before the military action began in Iran. The war powers resolution would require the president to notify Congress of hostilities before taking any further actions against Iran. Democrats say only Congress can declare war unless there's an imminent threat. But Republicans are defending President Trump's actions.
This is an illegal war. I have a war powers resolution queued up for vote this week, and I'm encouraging my colleagues to assert the constitutional power vested in the legislative branch. More importantly, though, haven't we learned something from 25 years of war in the Middle East? Have we learned nothing?
Very troubling is most congressional Democrats, as you brought up, they're going to line up next week and say, we don't want the president to have any authority to defend the United States of America against the imminent threat of Iran.
They know him in the Senate. They know he's. And even if the resolution passed Congress, it will largely have been symbolic because President Trump would likely veto it. Anthony?
Okay, thank you, Brian. Appreciate it. We continue to follow some more breaking news. A crash at 76th and Union, this is in Inglewood, has turned into a lot more of a situation for Chicago police to contend with.
A shocking scene. We have Saquon on the scene. And what can you say about what happened to police officers there? Any more information since the last time we visited with you?
Yeah, so since then, still no new information yet. Obviously, we have emails and calls into Chicago police for more info. But just based on what we're seeing here, you can see there were about 3 cars involved in this rollover crash. Obviously, that car on the sidewalk there, the white one, window smashed out. You can see the front end pretty much smashed out as well. That black SUV, the back windshield there, also smashed out. But there's a lot of debris laying around this morning, and also a side on its side on the sidewalk. So there's going to be a lot when it comes to cleanup, too. Of course, investigators are going to have to comb through so much here. But we also are hearing reports that this was connected to a possible shooting. Now, once again, we have not confirmed this information. However, it does line up with some of the things that we're seeing here this morning. You know, we did see a gun here on the ground, kind of where that officer is standing right now. We also saw shell casings in the area. So we are working to confirm that information. But, you know, at this point, we know investigators are here and they're going to have to comb through a lot here. One thing to point out, too, is that there is a surveillance camera right above where that car is on that sidewalk there. So I do believe that is going to be a big focus for investigators as they move forward with this. We also know that this is kind of surrounded by apartment buildings and homes with a lot of those security cameras around. So there's going to be a lot of video here to comb through. You know, as far as right now goes, guys, obviously very limited information at this time. We're still trying to confirm what's going on. And I think a lot of the people living in this area, there's been a lot of bystanders. I spoke with the man earlier who did not want to get on camera, but he said, you know, he had to come check this out and wanted to figure out what was going on after he was dropping his kid off at school. So still lots to figure out this morning. We've seen investigators. But of course, with that in mind, as I mentioned, cleanup is going to be a big process in this as well. They're going to have to get a tow truck out here and get all of these cars removed. So it's safe to say that these officers will likely be on site here for the next few hours for sure. Guys.
Saquon live in Inglewood. Thank you so much for that update. All right, switching gears here. Early voting sites will open in all 50 of the city's wards. Now, early voting has already been available at the downtown super site on State Street and at the Board of Elections offices on West Washington Street. Same-day voter registration is available at all early voting sites. You can vote at whichever voting site is most convenient for you.
All right, it was 3 years ago when Chicago police officer Andres Vasquez Lasso was killed in the line of duty while responding to a domestic disturbance call in Gage Park. And yesterday, an end of watch memorial was held in his honor. This is a tradition. It's serving as a reminder of his sacrifice and service. He does have a street named in his honor. It runs right past the family home in West Lawn. He's also memorialized within the halls of Chicago's 8th Police District, where he spent a career. Obviously, it was tragically cut short, protecting and serving the public.
We remember and we honor him, and we also take note that we remember him every day. We have reminders. He's on our canine here in the station. We have one of the street sign dedications here at 63rd and also on 67th Street. So part of Andres lives with us every single day.
Vasquez Lasso is survived by his wife, his parents, his brother, and extended family as well, many of whom reside in his native Colombia. Walmart, other news here, paying $100 million to settle a lawsuit brought by several states, including Illinois. The settlement stems from a delivery service Walmart launched back in 2018. Walmart hired drivers through the app Spark, which sends drivers orders to drop off to customers. The FTC says that Walmart lied to customers, saying that their tips went directly to the drivers. The agency claims that Walmart did not tell drivers that their tips would be split across multiple drivers.
The CDC says the U.S. has recorded more than 1,100 cases of measles. It says that's 6 times more than a typical year. For all of 2025, the CDC says there were just under 2,300 confirmed cases of measles and 3 deaths. Health experts say the number could rise as more families are choosing not to vaccinate their children. There's new requirements in effect for people who receive SNAP benefits. More older adults have to work or perform volunteer duties for 80 hours a month to remain eligible. The age limit was increased from 54 to 64 for able-bodied people without dependents. Previous work exemptions are more strict, including for veterans and caregivers. Going forward, the caregiver exemption applies only if a dependent is younger than 14 years old. It used to be under 18. The changes to SNAP were part of the big, beautiful bill that was passed last year.
All right, might not feel like it right now, but research says that winter is getting shorter in 80% of the U.S. A climate science group says that winter got an average of 9 days shorter between 1970 and 1997. It says Alaska has seen the biggest drop in winter days, but that the Midwest also saw fewer days.
Okay, well, if you would have asked us a couple weeks ago when it was bone-chilling cold.
Yeah, and then we got up to 65 on Friday.
65, I guess that makes sense. And it looks nice and sunny right now. Caitlin.
I don't even understand that. Like, what defines winter days? It's not based on temperature.
You're the scientist, Caitlin.
Like, if it's 30, is that considered a winter day? Like, I don't understand. Anyways, all right, let's talk about the forecast today. It's beautiful outside. We've got blue skies, sunshine, temperatures. They're in the 20s and 30s. Right now, we're sitting at 30 degrees at the lakefront, 29 at Midway, Chicago Heights at 29 degrees, and freezing in Joliet, 31, and Morris temperatures in Northwest Indiana in the upper 20s to about 30 degrees currently. We are on our way to the low and mid-40s today. Some of you Southwest could actually be pushing into the upper 40s, but these are our highs expected this afternoon. Hovering at 39 degrees at the lakefront, 43 at O'Hare, and 44 at Midway. Tonight, the clouds are building and the chance for rain is back. Temperatures dropping down to freezing, if not just below, for Chicago. So with that, the precipitation that falls, it could get a little bit icy out there tomorrow morning, so take it slow. Tomorrow in the afternoon, though, temperatures back to the 40s. Chance for rain is back too, but we have the best potential south of the city. And then, unfortunately, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, the chance for rain is back. Temperatures, though, are going to continue to ramp up. 48 degrees as our high Wednesday. Thursday, 53. 64 on Friday. But you can see that we do have the chance for a few thunderstorms, too. And then this weekend, temperatures are staying in the low 60s with a chance for rain, especially on Saturday. So in the meantime, today, it is going to be one of the cooler days of our 7-day forecast, but the most beautiful. So enjoy the sunshine while we have it. It's 8:40. We have so much more ahead. Stay with us.
Welcome back. All right, it's the ritual that some of us kind of love to hate. This weekend, we will spring forward into daylight saving time. But while the extra sunlight is nice, some of our internal clocks kind of pay a price. Here to help us prepare is Dr. James Rowley, Director of the Sleep Medicine Fellowship at Rush. Good morning, James.
Good morning.
Let's talk about kind of the simple question, how should people prepare for the time shift?
Yes, the simplest thing you could do is to start going to bed a few minutes early every night this week, so that you, by Saturday night, you'd be sort of an hour ahead already. So maybe starting Wednesday, so you could go to bed about 15 minutes earlier each night. Another suggestion is that on Saturday night, to actually go to reset your clocks in your house earlier and then go to bed when would be your normal bedtime. And that just helps get you going correctly. And then finally, Sunday morning and the next few days after that, get up in the morning, get some sunshine. Hopefully it won't be raining. And that will also help set your clocks for the week.
All right, I like those three things there. We're always thinking about the kids, right? How about for people with kids in the house? What's some advice for them?
They should just get on the same routine as you. So they should start going to bed a little bit earlier as well. That might be hard if you have adolescents who are naturally wanting to go to bed later. But if your kids are in the, a toddler to 10 to 12-year-old range, just put them to bed a little bit earlier every night as well. And that should help them clue in when Sunday comes along.
Yeah, the teenagers, they seem to do what they want. We talk about it every year, doctor, but here again, there's legislation to do a permanent DST. What does that mean, and would it really be better for our health?
So it is the position of the American Academy of Sleep Medicine that we should be on permanent standard time. Permanent daylight time, if we were to do that, would mean that after we made the switch at the end of the week, we would permanently stay in that time. But there is good evidence that this is not good for us biologically. It would mean less sunshine in the morning. Sunshine in the morning, one, helps us get our day going, but more importantly, helps set our circadian clock during the day and helps us actually to fall asleep earlier. Also, having permanent daylight savings time will mean a lot of darkness in the morning. If people are upset with being dark at 7:30, it will be 8:30, or often in parts of the United States that it will still be dark in the morning. And that's also not safe for our kids who walk to school, people driving in the morning. So we feel that our body is best aligned when we are on permanent standard time.
Doctor, selfishly, for all of us, who are watching at home too, we have to ask you just some free medical advice. For people who have trouble sleeping, all right, what's your number one piece of advice? Doesn't matter with daylight saving time. What's your number one piece of advice just to do before bed to kind of settle down and maybe sleep better at night?
Yeah, one should definitely take some time to relax and not be working. Probably not being on your laptop anymore. There's this new thing called doom scrolling, that you're spending too much time looking at things at night that just worry you, especially with everything going on right now. So get off your electronics, maybe watch a little TV, read a book, but do something relaxing for yourself for about the hour before you go to bed.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you for that. Dr. James Rowley, Director of the Sleep Medicine Fellowship at Rush. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
8:47. Caitlin Cody is standing by. Caitlin, I love the sun shining today. Makes me feel better.
By the way, this is going to sound weird, but if you can't go to sleep at night, pull up YouTube and watch ASMR videos.
But he's saying don't watch a bunch of videos.
He's saying don't watch stressful videos. He said watch a movie before you go to bed. ASMR YouTube, Gabby, I'm telling you, it just relaxes something deep in your brain. It's the best.
Okay.
It's the best.
I'll give it a try, Caitlin.
Give it a shot. Okay, let's talk about this weather. It is beautiful. We've got blue sky, sunshine. It's a little bit chilly this morning, but this afternoon, highs are going to be in the low to mid 40s. So temperatures are climbing by about 10 degrees compared to yesterday. And it was lovely yesterday. Yesterday we had the sunshine. It was just a little bit on the cool side. Right now, satellite radar shows just how quiet it is for us in Chicagoland. That's going to be the case start to finish today. Enjoy it, because The clouds are returning tonight, and then the rest of this week is going to be cloudy to mostly cloudy with the chance for rain each day. Temperatures right now are ranging in the 20s and 30s. I'm seeing 30 at the lakefront. We've cracked into the 30s already downtown. 29 at O'Hare and Midway, 31 from Morris to Kankakee to 28 degrees in Merrillville. Here's your futurecast. Again, temperatures pushing into the 40s today. Looking at our afternoon temperature at 4:15, some of you are flirting with 50. LaSalle, Morris, Kankakee, upper 40s, and Joliet, too. Temperatures in the mid-40s from Valpo to Gary, so that's our peak. And then this evening, 7 p.m., temperatures starting to drop back down into the 30s. The clouds increase tonight, and then we get the chance for some precipitation. We could see a few slick spots on the roads early tomorrow. And then as we work our way through the day on Tuesday, the best chance for rain is going to be south of the city, especially south of I-80. But same thing on Wednesday. The chance for scattered showers will be back. This is Tuesday night, seeing that scattered rain, temperatures in the 30s. And then on Wednesday, starting off with temperatures around 40 degrees, but we still have that potential for rain. Now, the temperatures are looking good this week, I will say. Even though we are going to have more clouds than today, we're going to be right around 48 degrees on Wednesday. Thursday's high of 53 climbs to 64 by Friday afternoon. And then this weekend, low 60s. It is just about 8:50. We have so much more ahead. Stay with us.
Download today.
Welcome back. Hey, nice sunny. The guitar. Yeah, it's nice to have a little sunshine to start the work week. Okay, in entertainment news, Harrison Ford has got everybody talking. He choked up during a very emotional moment with his speech at the Actor Awards.
Ashley Dvorkin has some of the highlights of the night.
Award season has made its stop here at the Actor Awards, where actors honor their fellow actors with, yes, the actor statue. Here are highlights from this year's show. It was a big night for Sinners and a show about making movies.
The studio!
The studio took Outstanding Ensemble in a comedy series. Seth Rogen won Male Actor, and the late Catherine O'Hara received Outstanding Performance by a Female Actor in a Comedy Series. Accepting on her behalf, Rogan said O'Hara showed you can be a genius and be kind.
I've never been more proud of a group of people in my life.
In drama, The Pit took the ensemble trophy, Noah Wiley got the male actor kudos, and The Diplomat's Kerry Russell won female actor.
I'm up on the marquees.
The show was hosted for a third time by Kristen Bell.
It is a little weird to be getting a Lifetime Achievement Award at the half point of my career.
Harrison Ford was honored with the SAG-AFTRA Life Achievement Award. On the film side, Sinners won the top title of Outstanding Performance by a Cast in a Motion Picture. Per Variety, Ryan Coogler made history, becoming the first director of 2 Best Ensemble winners with this and Black Panther.
Mom, thank you.
Michael B. Jordan won Male Actor in a Leading Role, and among those he thanked, his date for the night, his mom.
Categorically changed by so many people in this room.
Hemnet's Jessie Buckley took Female Actor in a Leading Role, while supporting wins went to One Battle After Another's Sean Penn and Aunt Gladys herself, weapons star Amy Madigan. Wow! That's a wrap on the Actor Awards. Next stop, the Oscars. In Los Angeles, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
With the Artemis moon mission on hold indefinitely, NASA says it needs to start speeding things up. Artemis was sent back to the hangar to fix a helium leak, and there's not a set date when it might fly to the moon and back with a 4-person crew. NASA's administrator says there should be moon missions launching every 10 months. He says it should be like the Apollo mission days where the trips were frequent.
We shouldn't be comfortable with the current cadence. We should be getting back to basics and doing what we know works. Launching a rocket is important and as complex as SLS every 3 years is not a path to success.
NASA still intends to launch Artemis to the moon this year, but the moon landing for next year will have to wait until 2028. NASA plans to have 2 different missions put people on the moon that year.
The Kennedy Center honors, they will go on. They just won't happen at the Kennedy Center. As you remember, President Trump said that the landmark would be closing for the next 2 years for upgrades. Center didn't say which venue the ceremony is moving to, but it did say the event will be called the Trump Kennedy Center Honors, and a number of acts have canceled their gigs since the Trump name takeover there.
Target plans to remove all cereals with certified synthetic colors by the end of May. Almost 85% of Target cereal sales already use natural colors anyways. The change will complete the transition across Target's entire cereal line.
All right, it's almost 9 o'clock, and our next hour of Good Day Chicago starts in just moments, so stay with us.